Welcome back to the Believe in Badgers podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined, as always, by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself, Matt Bernstein. Bernie, it's a big day on the podcast. How we doing?
It's a big day. I thought of who would be the most unique human beings that have their hands in part of the program that nobody would actually know about. And Dan Slattery is one of those people who do something so unique that I think nobody really knows what they do. So I'm so happy and so excited, Dan, to have you on and to share kind of like your responsibilities and how cool you are behind the scenes.
It's interesting. It's a lot of work.
Well,
gotta be in a certain place, certain times, you know.
Before we get into anything, I want to remind you guys that we are presented by betonline.ag, where they remain your number one source for all of your online sports wagering needs. You name it, they've got it over there at BetOnline. NBA playoffs in full swing, as are the NHL playoffs. Always some good UFC, boxing, baseball. I mean, casino games, card games. It's all over there at betonline.ag. So head on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit with our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.
Wait, so let's tell people what you do, because I don't think anyone, if you're not watching, Dan is driving a 18-wheeler, it looks like, and speaking to us. Dan drives the equipment from the stadium to whatever stadium the Badgers are playing at that week. And I think Dan just parked an 18-wheeler on camera, and it looked perfect to us. And he's still doing it, man. This is so cool.
We've had guys in golf carts before, but this is our first 18-wheeler, Dan.
Yeah, they're beasts sometimes.
Yeah.
So first of all, how long have you been driving for the Badgers, Dan?
About 11 years.
11
years. I started the same year Jeremy did.
Oh, excellent.
So, Jeremy Amundsen, he's a guy that I go through for everything. But yeah, so I think he's been there 11. This is going on my 12th year.
Wow. So let me. This is what I remember from the people who would, the one guy who would drive the truck. Was it Thursday or was it Friday at night? They would drop all the equipment goes in your travel bag, and you bring it up to the truck, and they put it on the truck. Dan, is that Friday afternoon?
No, it'd be Thursday.
Yeah, it's got to be Thursday because you're not going to get to the stadium from Friday afternoon to Saturday morning.
That makes sense. So
no, because we got to be at the stadium before that. We have to be at the stadium Friday morning to unload there and to start setting up.
So Dan, so all the equipment, you're talking about 65 guys who travel and other stuff. All the stuff the trainers need. Everything goes in this 18-wheeler.
Yep.
And Dan, your responsibility is to drive it from Camp Randall to, let's say, Penn State or Iowa or wherever we're playing away.
Wherever.
How cool is that for you?
It's interesting. You'll get a lot of fans that like you and some that don't, but that's life. It's pretty interesting because normally we load right at the stadium, and then we go to the hotel after that, where we're playing, like Iowa. We go to the hotel. We offload at the hotel that at night, or the next morning, Friday morning, before we go to the stadium. So I get there. We used to leave Friday or Thursday morning at around 11, but now they changed practice time, so now it'll be like Thursday afternoon. So I'll still make Thursday night down there, and I do have another guy that goes with me, so he can help drive and stuff. So it's so by the time we get down there, we unload.
So there are two guys who can drive the truck, and you alternate. so you can make it from point, Camp Randall to wherever the destination is.
Yep.
Yeah, because you've got a sleeper cab there, it appears. So you can...
it's a double bunk.
So what is the longest trip you've had to make? I assume the Rose Bowl?
Yep. San Diego and the Rose Bowl.
So what
I've been to both.
So what are those drives like? How long ahead of time are you leaving from Madison to get out to Pasadena or to San Diego?
Quite a few. Got to leave quite a bit. Because they are... It's a long way out there. I've done
How long
it.
does a trip like that usually take?
You're talking... You are talking 2,200 miles, so it takes quite a few. It's probably 32 hours to go out there straight, if not more.
And Dan, I have to assume like you love this.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. It's like having a second family.
How long have you been driving?
I'm going on probably about 36 years of driving out here on the road.
And have you always been based in Wisconsin?
Yeah. No. I was actually out in Montana for a little while. For about 2 years. I was based out of there.
So Dan, how does one become the driver for all the equipment, the Wisconsin Badger 18-wheeler?
My boss, she went to college down there. And she knows a lot of people down there. So when we first started up, probably about 11 years ago, she asked me if I would be considering to do the football stuff. And I go, well, yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. And it was a little high havoc at first, but once I got into the routine of it, I love it.
So you pick up the stuff Thursday afternoon. You might drive you and your partner drive as far. You pretty much drive the whole time. You go right to the hotel, and what do you offload at the hotel?
They got some players, some of the medical equipment you offload there, so they can practice or stretch out and stuff there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and treatment, and offload the Gatorade and water, some of it, and then like their snacky stuff. And then after that, we just pretty much go to bed, get up, leave by 8:45, 9 o'clock the next morning, and go to the stadium to offload on Friday.
And so who's helping you? It's not just you and your partner offloading. Jeremy and Sam, they got a crew.
Okay.
That they actually really help. There's like probably 11 kids.
Yeah. It's a lot of the student assistants, right?
Yeah. When we're offloading and loading and all that stuff, it's students that are helping. Trainers.
So are you, I don't remember, you're not in the locker room during the games, but you're at the games.
I'm right on the field for the games because they give me the pass to go on the field.
That's awesome.
I can go to the locker room, but I don't want the teams in there. But if the team's in there, I don't go to the locker room.
So oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
What's the after game situation like? Like, how is it a huge rush to get out?
Oh yeah.
So can you just explain like what that looks like?
That can be I'll wait and pull them two out when we're done. When you get them out. It's kind of it's fast-paced move where you're trying to get the team in and get showered to get them out, and I'm trying to load and get everything back on, and then the players' bags got to go on and all that stuff. But yeah, it's usually I can. Right now, I got it down to the science where I can actually be out and leaving about the same time the team does. That's how fast we're moving. And
That's
you guys are
impressive.
getting
that's everything off the field. They're all of their totes, whatever goes in the trailer. It's back on the trailer. We're gone.
What is the hardest stuff to get loaded in and out? What is like what's the biggest obstacle every time?
Probably going like Nebraska. We got to push them away along, the carts a long way to go down to the field or to the locker room because it's a jaunt. And like Purdue, you got to go down a hill and then back up a hill. Then to the trailer. That's the biggest obstacle in getting everything, back in the trailer. And it depends on where you're at. If you're ways away from the field, then that's going to take a while. Like, I think it's in Maryland. We have to actually have a pickup with a flatbed, bring us the stuff, and then we load it up in the trailer. Well, that's kind of consuming too.
What's the toughest stadium to get in and out of?
As in getting into when nobody's around or getting out after the game?
Both.
Well, the toughest one I've been into is probably, I would say, Maryland. Because that's like a little snake trail. It takes their driver 10 minutes. It took me 12. And the team that was there, the last time we were out there, the team that was out there before us took them 2 hours. And usually, take, for example, Illinois campaign. If I do it right, I can be out with the team and they escort me right out with the cops and everything. So that's pretty easy. Iowa, if I don't get in with the escort, it takes a while for me to get out of it.
Just because of all the fans, because of like the way the roads are set up.
Yeah, the roads, traffic, fans, because there's a lot of them that don't like us.
What fan base is most likely to try to start some stuff or gets most into it with you guys?
Nebraska.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dan, do you have a favorite place you stop on the road to different places?
My favorite place?
Yeah.
Usually I don't stop anywhere, not unless I need fuel.
So you guys just have sandwiches in the truck and you just drive the whole way?
Well, like in the truck stops, if you stop and get fuel, they got like hot dogs, brats, and all that stuff on a cooker, so you just grab something. Once in a while, we'll stop and just go in and eat, or take a shower. Depends on how long the road trip is. Normally, like Iowa, we'll leave around 11, quarter after 11, normally. We're down there by 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we offload at the hotel, and I park the truck, then we go and eat. And so we get the rest of the night off, which is kind of nice. But then we can go do whatever, and go eat, go do this, go do that. And then the next morning, get up and go to the stadium around 9, and then come back. I leave everything right there in the truck trailer right at the stadium because it's easier for me. And I know the security there, and it's going to be safe. Nobody else screw with it. And it saves time on me and everybody else. Well, then we just ride the bus back or whatever. And that's how we get back and forth between the stadium and the bus, and so it works out really good.
Dan, I got a question. We are not this year, next year, we have UCLA and USC joining. So I'm assuming we'll be playing some games on the West Coast. What is your thought about those guys joining? And your kind of responsibility to probably get out there for maybe a game a year?
No different than the first away game this coming year. Washington.
Well, I guess that's true. Well, so what's that like for you? It's a new place. Like, how do you know how to go? Is it GPS? Like, what do you do?
Well, I've been out I've been driving so much that I kind of know where some of the places are and where I can and can't go. But it's just time consuming. It's a lot of driving, and it'll be tiring because neither one of us, we drive not right now. We drive by ourselves until football season comes around, and then my partner and me, we drive together. But it's harder to get some sleep in there when you're not used to that. But you still can get some sleep, which it's all right. I mean, you just take your 10-hour break in there, and you just swap back out. But yeah, it's tiring, but it's all right. I like it.
How long have you guys been driving together?
Mark Bailey, I've known most of my life. We've been driving going on our third year together now.
Well, I was going to say, like, how do you even get into truck driving in the first place? You grew up in Wisconsin. Like, how do you get into driving big rigs in the first place? And then on top of that, like, were you a Wisconsin fan before you got this job?
Yeah. I lived out. I was born in Nebraska, and 6 months. I was 6 months old and we moved to Wisconsin. I've been in Wisconsin ever since. And I liked the trucks back then. Started driving, and I haven't quit since.
I love that.
It's pretty cool.
That is so cool. Wait, I have to go back to Washington. Are you going to leave on like a Wednesday? Is it a Thursday leave still?
No, we're gonna leave Wednesday.
Man, that is so crazy.
Leave at 11 o'clock because I got Jeremy set up to get me out of there around 11. We were going to do it in the afternoon, but I says, that's gotten really too close. So we're going to leave Wednesday around 11.
And what are the rules? Like you can drive 8 hours, your partner can drive 8 hours, and then you have to take a 10-hour break?
No, you can drive up to 11, then you got to take a 10-hour break. You can work up to 14 a day, but you only can drive 11.
Got it. So you can drive 11, and then your partner can drive 11.
He can drive 11. Yep.
And then both of you have to take a 10-hour, or is your 10-hour included in his 11 hours?
My 10 will be included in his 11. So while he's driving, I'm doing my 10 up.
Wow. So you guys can really switch back and forth. It's not like sitting in the co-pilot seat that's a break.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow,
I mean, we can switch, but it does eat up on your log, so you're better off driving your straight 11 and let the other guy sleep for 10 and then continue on that way, because otherwise you're crossing each other and it really puts a bind on you. So you're better off just driving 11 and then letting the other guy drive 11. And then if there's any extra time that you need, then the next guy, the person that started, can finish it off.
So I got to know,
have
you guys ever broken down, or have you ever broken down with the equipment? Talk to us about that.
Yeah. We were on our way to California, and I had 2 trucks and 4 drivers, and the other truck broke down. Well, we nursed it down into Oklahoma. We got it down there, and I called them up and I said, "This is what's going on. This is what I need. Can you get me in?" "Yep, we can get you in as soon as you get here." And then they turn around and they go, "Wait a minute. This is Wisconsin football?" I said, "Yes." I said, "I need it going because I got to be on California at a certain time, so I need it done." Not a problem. I got there, got me in, got it fixed. We all 4 of us all buddied in. Otherwise, I was going to change the other trailer with me because that one had all the luggage on it. So we were going to mold it out there. So we got it going, and we made it. It was late, but we made it the next day, so it worked out good.
Which I have 2 more questions. Do you and your partner ever fight about who's driving into the stadium or into the city? No, you do.
Nope.
You guys just don't care. And
you're always
you.
It's always you. There's no fighting.
That would be so thrilling to like pull into the city, pull into the town, pull into the college campus. I don't know. It just seems like it would be so cool. My last question is you've seen some amazing games, and you've been on the field for, seems like, a majority of them. Any of them stick out? Any players stick out? Any games stick out that you're like, man, this was really cool that I was on the field, or I took all the, equipment from point A to point B?
We were in Indianapolis. I think we were at the Big Ten Championship. And that game, that's when Monty Ball was a running back. And I think Corey Clement was behind him or some. Yeah, I think Corey Clement was behind him. And, 18 hours. Monty Ball made a touchdown, and that was record breaking or something like that. And he come out the field, and we did the high five and the man hug, and they put it on ESPN.
That's awesome.
And that was cool for me. And then Melvin Gordon, we were out in San Diego. That's when he was playing for them. He was walking up the tunnel, and I was walking down to the tunnel with a trailer, and he recognized me, and he come out of nowhere and gave me the biggest hug I've ever had in my life, and he wouldn't let me go. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And for that to happen. And this last year we were down in Phoenix, and Corey Clement showed up. Yeah, I think it was Corey Clement showed up there, and out of the clip, I didn't even recognize him. And that one stood out too, where these running backs and some of these guys, the one time we were down in, I think it was Michigan, and Bart Houston was a quarterback. Him and Stodgy were going back and forth, and Houston was throwing back and forth, warming up his arm, and all of a sudden the ball went flying right across in front of my nose. And I just happened to look down at him, and he just laughed. I mean, he was laughing so hard because he knew it, and I just shook my head at him. But them things there, they stand out on me. And these guys, because a few years ago I got hurt real bad, where nobody thought I was going to make it back. But I bounced back. I made it. And a lot of like Jeremy and a lot of those guys, and TJ and all those guys down there, they were concerned. They didn't think I was going to come back. But I came back, and I had a lot of guys down there. A lot of the kids would text me or call me, and while I was in the hospital, say, "Hey, you're doing all right?" Yeah, yep, I'm doing okay. So, yeah, it makes things like that stand out to me. It made a lot of heartache there for me, where these guys they really care. Everybody knows.
That is so cool to hear.
Well, I'm sure that you love it extra that it's the running backs who care the most.
I mean, obviously, but it's also like you're part of the team. Like, I always knew how special the truck drivers were, because you think about, like, you're putting your bag on this truck, and you have to trust this. Like, my biggest thing, I wanted my mouthpiece there. My mouthpiece wasn't in my bag. Yeah. I would freak out. So I would go back and forth from the truck and open the bag like I had OCD to make sure the mouthpiece. It's the only thing I needed. Yep. I didn't need anything else. But my mouthpiece, I needed. For some odd reason, it was just that thing. We were trusting someone to take, like, all your stuff that you need to play a football game in, like, and be on TV and drive, like, you just see it drive away. And then it always appears, and everything was there, and to me, it never went, it went off without a hitch. And I think it's a testament to you guys, and it was just so cool. And so when we were talking about, like, unique individuals to have, we're like, the guys who drive the truck are so cool. Yeah. And and then I just appreciate you, sharing some time. I know it looks like you're on the job, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
Oh, he's got to unload me, so it's going to take a while.
Yeah. So for those of you who are just listening, by the way, a little while ago, while Dan's talking to us, he just backed a big rig into a loading dock. Yeah. Without missing a beat talking to us. This is honestly one of the most impressive things that's ever happened on the podcast. So I got to ask about your cab, though. I assume you own that cab with the Wisconsin stuff on it?
It's a company truck.
It's the company truck? Okay, I wasn't sure if that was your cab or if that was the company's. But did the Badgers, like, paint that for you? The company paints that? Nope. Like, how does it get all the Badgers paraphernalia on it?
I had a Lions trailer make these stickers for me. I put them on because we were taking this one to a bowl game. This isn't the original one, but it is one of them that I do use for bowl games. And I have taken this one to a couple of games because the other one broke, so I took this one instead. But I do have another truck. And yeah, so if I gotta take two trucks, I take this one and the original football truck, which we do have a brand new truck here. Well, we just got to get it wrapped and everything. And that one will be my every daily driver, which I told them guys I'd bring it down and show them when I get it done. Because right now we're waiting on the wrap and to put some more lights on it and some more chrome. So we'll be styled a little bit this year.
Nice.
So do you have like any relationship with like any of the drivers for any of the other teams, like the Minnesota drivers, the Iowa drivers? Do you know any of those guys?
Michigan, Minnesota, I know.
Do you guys have a rivalry?
I do know.
Do you guys have a rivalry? Like, are you guys are you talking crap on the radio, being like, "Ha, I see you got caught in that traffic. You know, I got around that."
Yeah, me and Michigan State guy. I mean, we get along really, really good. And he actually followed me out the last time they were up there because I had to bring the truck and trailer right to the stadium for the home games too. And we tailgate out of it. My boss, she puts it on and I just run it, set everything up. But he followed me out the last time he was at our stadium and we were talking back and forth on the CV. And some people get it, some people don't. But yeah, I'm actually pretty good friends with him. We give each other a handshake and a hug, when we see each other and stuff. First time I met him, we switched footballs. I gave him a Wisconsin one, he gave me a Michigan one. So that was kind of cool. But most of the guys are really decent, most of the drivers. They come and look at our stuff when we go and look at their stuff, when I'm at their stadium. So it's kind of nice. I mean, we really don't, it's still a rivalry, but we still don't get in each other's faces about it.
I was going to say, does any one of these guys have something on their truck that you really wish you had?
Not really. I mean, our truck looks really unique. Some of them got more lights than what I have, but that's more of dealing with, you got to fix it later. So, in case the light goes out, you got to fix it because we got to be looking legal and looking pretty fancy. But yeah, no, there's pretty much everything of ours match. Some of these guys that come in with rented trailers and they just, like I did here on this truck, I just put stickers on. Ours is a full wrap. Truck will be full wrap. So yeah, I can't really complain. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it's pretty stylish.
Well, I love seeing it.
I mean, I love seeing it too. It's I hope that I can cross paths with it with you guys at some point on the road, or drive next to on one of my trips up from Nashville to Madison. What is the destination that you most wish you could get sent to that you haven't been to yet? Where, like, who could the Badgers play that you'd be like, yeah, I want to go there?
Alabama.
Yeah, they're going to be playing in a couple of years.
Yep, I seen it on the schedule. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Hawaii, but we're kind of out of that one. But yeah, I mean, Alabama would be cool because I know exactly where that stadium's at. I've been by it several times.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Well, listen, if the Badgers are playing in Alabama, I'm going to be there because that's 2.5 hours from my house. So I will absolutely be there in Alabama.
Oh,
Maybe I'll check you out in the field there. That would be a lot of fun on the field at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get loud.
That wouldn't be a blast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to wrap it up here for the day. Dan, we cannot thank you enough for your time. This has been a treat. This has been an absolute treat. Thank you so much. Bernie, this is like one of the coolest things we've ever done.
No, I know, Dan, thank you. This is so cool. You park in the truck while on It's so phenomenal. It was hands-free, so no one get upset. He's got a headset on. But what a pleasure to watch you work, literally work. And now they're offloading you. I think it's so cool. We really appreciate your time, and I definitely hope we bump into you sometime this season.
Oh, not a problem. I'll be there. I'll be
right. Buck, stay safe.
Yes, absolutely.
Easy travels.
Yes, absolutely. Stay safe. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Believe in Badgers podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. And until next time, on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.